For now, let's just take you straight to a press conference in the national capital. Cobrapost is presenting Operation Red Spider. It's an investigation money laundering operation.
Allotting lockers for safekeeping of illegitimate cash, including special large-sized lockers to accommodate crores of hard cash. They are personally coming to the residence of the client to collect the black money, forward and collect the cash, and even bring counting machines to count that black money. They are using provisions like Form 60 to deposit illegitimate cash into the account to route it into investments. They are helping clients to transfer black money abroad through NRE accounts, NRO accounts, and other telegraphically or through means other than regular banking channels. They are accepting huge sums of cash to invest it in their insurance products and gold. They are doing it even without the mandatory PAN or adhering to the KYC norms. They are splitting the money to facilitate that the client can go ahead and deposit the money without being detected. They are using benami accounts to facilitate the conversion of black money. They are using accounts of other customers to channelize the black money into the system for a fee. They are getting demand drafts made for the client either from their own banks or from other banks to facilitate investment without it showing in the client's account. Some other things that they are doing is they are offering cash laundering services like the operation of lockers outside regular banking hours to ensure the secrecy of their customers' identities and to mask the nature of the transactions. To stay one step ahead, ICICI Bank officials are even ready to make a suitable profile for the client, such as showing him as an agriculturist or engaged in some business, so as to make the investment unquestionable. Axis Bank officials, on the other hand, prove to be a notch above inventing fraudulent means. They use sundry accounts of the bank. They suggest to deposit all the illegal cash from where it is to be routed into investment. They either use accounts of other customers for a fee to transfer money abroad or use some shell company and take away a chunk of foreign currency expenses towards business come leisure trips. They would pamper you, offering you privileged banking or priority banking, pulling out all stops to make the deal happen. It took us many months to reach this stage, and we have hundreds of hours of video. And what you are going to see is going to shock you. And please remember that the reporter went to these bank branches across the country. You name a city and possibly he was there. Chennai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Jaipur, Agra, Aligarh, Kolkata, Delhi, Faridabad, Mumbai. It's across the length and breadth of the country. This happened in dozens and dozens and dozens of branches. The reporter had a basic, simple strategy. He just went in and said that he was fronting for an imaginary politician. Of course, they didn't know that he was fronting for a politician who had huge amounts of black money to be made into white. At each and every location, let me assure you, he was given a red carpet welcome. He was welcomed. He was served tea, coffee, masala dosa, you name it. I mean, the reporter says he never received such hospitality in his life as the hospitality he got from the various bank branches when he just told them as a simple walk-in cold call into these bank branches that he had this huge amount of politicians' money, black money, somewhere 50 lakhs, somewhere 5 crores, somewhere 7 crores, and he wanted to make it white and he wanted to invest it. And would the bankers please help? And the bankers helped, and they explained the whole processes about how they would structure it. They explained processes about how they would help the politician convert the entire black money into white, and which is what you're going to see across the nation. If you sort of counted the number of violations each one of these bankers have committed, you would cross into dozens and dozens of violations, which include violations of the Income Tax Act, which include violations of FEMA, which include total violations of RBI regulations, KYC norms, the Banking Act and Prevention of Money Laundering Act, PMLA, etc., etc., etc. And I must tell you that there is severe connivance of senior management of these banks, and money laundering is sold basically as a product. I mean, without the fancy brochures go with the other products. It is there. If a person can coming in and tell a tall tale about some politician wanting to invest money, there's absolutely no KYC check, there's nothing. They are simply helping him. Each one of those bankers is talking about how he has done those deals in the past. He's talking about how the bank is there, it exists only on black money, and once you listen to the bites, I mean, you will be numbed, and in some places you would even look at the whole comic aspect of it. These money laundering practices seem to be like a standard SOP, standard set of procedures within these banks. I mean, we all used to think that money goes outside India and Switzerland, and we have had several agitations over the past few years, where people have been enraged about the fact that there's billions and billions of dollars money in Switzerland and in tax havens, and people are sending it out, and it's not coming back to India. But I'm telling you that your Switzerlands are in India itself. There are officials who are giving us tours of the bank lockers. You will see that in visuals, where they are telling clients about how much money can go in one locker and how they could use the bank lockers to stuff their cash in and slowly withdraw it and put it in benami accounts, slowly withdraw it and put it into other accounts of the bank, and thereby invest in the bank's own insurance products and other products. And I must tell you seriously, with great responsibility, that I wouldn't be surprised that the bulk of the money in insurance products of these banks is black money. I mean, there is no doubt about it once you see the evidence, and there needs to be an investigation to find out about how percentage of money is through these bogus sort of deals that has been happening, and apparently it's been happening for many years, according to testimony of several of these officials. I would like to also briefly touch, I don't want to spend too much between the evidence and you, but I just want to sum up things. Before the bank PR machines and other machines get into the picture, there is absolutely total transparency on the tapes. You can watch the tapes, you will know they are authentic. There has been not an inch of any sort of fabrication on our part. Everything is, we have tried best to keep it in context. And we are sure that they will go into a whole frenzy, that we have to check the tapes. You can check the tapes wherever you want. You can analyze them till, for months. But the only result you will get that they are genuine, authentic tapes. Cobrapost has always done genuine sort of stories, and our tapes have stood several investigations, and our evidence has been used at various places, on various forums, and nobody has ever questioned the veracity of our evidence. These hundreds of hours of tapes, etc., that you will see is across 5 time zones, I mean, in the country, north, south, east, west. If they tell you that these are just aberration branches, don't believe them, because these are not aberrations. These are dozens and dozens and dozens of branches. Just to sort of sum up the procedure for the day, we will start playing all the evidence right now, and I won't take any break till 1:15. And 1:15 we can have a Q&A, and lunch is there, and then we'll start all over again. Thank you very much. Operation Red Spider. Thank you.
All right, that was Aniruddha Bahl announcing Operation Red Spider, his investigation and expose into a massive corporate money laundering racket that has been run by private banks across the country. He's had his reporters travel to bank branches across the country, masquerading as middlemen who want to hide away money belonging to the powerful, to corporate interests and to politicians. And now Aniruddha Bahl's expose Operation Red Spider will play out. He's got video footage of how this entire operation was carried out across the country. Anirudh Behel, remember, is a senior journalist who has been associated in the past with such investigations as Operation West End with Tehelka, also Operation Duryodhan, the cash for question scandal that rocked Parliament a few years ago and was played out on Aaj and Headlines Today first, and now it's Operation Red Spider.
2,46,706 crore rupees as of March 2012. It has thousands of branches across the country and several thousand ATMs to service its clientele. Over the past many months, our associate editor Syed Masroor Hassan visited dozens of HDFC Bank branches over several states. And what transpired is encounters with officials of the bank establishes beyond doubt that the bank is indulging in widespread money laundering with the connivance of senior management of the bank. HDFC Bank branches are indulging in gross violations of many aspects of the Income Tax Act, FEMA, RBI regulations and Know Your Customer or KYC norms. This investigation raises several questions about the legitimacy of the bank's deposits and also raises questions about their declared profits. What percentage of the bank's huge profits, for instance, could be derived from illegitimate and cheap deposits? How much of this slush money has been invested in the bank's insurance and other products? The undercover investigation had Hassan take the alias of Rajiv Sharma. He posed as a frontman for an imaginary politician who wants to launder his pile of ill-gotten cash. Occasionally, he even posed as a businessman. He also created characters like Vandana and Neeta, the imaginary minister's imaginary wives. Of course, no polygamy here. And importantly, Sharmaji never had any black money to invest in the first place. The encounters with HDFC Bank officials had them suggest a host of methods to the reporter, by which they were willing to help the politician launder his scam-tainted cash. They were willing to accept lakhs and crores of cash and sometimes said that even the mandatory PAN card would not be necessary. They were willing to invest the cash in long-term insurance products. They universally agreed to keep the identity of the politician a secret. They agreed not to report the transactions to the RBI and other authorities like the Income Tax Department. They agreed to open multiple accounts and close them at will to facilitate the investment of the client's black money and its subsequent withdrawal. They agreed to open benami accounts. They agreed to convert the client's cash into demand drafts through their own arrangement with other lesser-known banks and through their own bank. They agreed to allot lockers to the client for storing several crores of black money. They agreed to facilitate the transfer of this black money as remittance abroad through the bank's accounts. They agreed to personally collect black money from the client's premises. In almost all cases, the officials suggested opening multiple accounts in the bank to route the black money into long-term investment plans. Coming in handy are certain provisions such as Section 1010D under IRDA, which are being used by the bank's officials to render the maturity amount totally tax-free. Operation Red Spider pierces the grim, dark web of lies and deceit in dozens of branches of HDFC Bank across the country. Spanning across the states of Rajasthan, Haryana, New Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka, Cobrapost Associate Editor Syed Masroor Hassan investigates the modus operandi of laundering black money in this reputed bank. Stay with us as we reveal the devious financial operations covertly engineered inside the glossy cabins of one of India's most trusted private banks, HDFC Bank. Here's Operation Red Spider.